Hello and welcome everyone. It is time finally for Jim Comics Top Picks for New Comic Book Day this upcoming Wednesday, October 9th, 2024. Got some good books out this week. I'm going to talk about what I'm looking at this week, as well as some stuff coming out in December. And then I'm going to talk about Knull and a bunch of other books related to Knull at the end. I know by now everybody knows Knull's showing up in the next Venom movie, so I'll touch on that at the end and a bunch of other books. Most of them will be familiar to you, but they're ones as a collector I think you're going to want to have in your collection. I'm definitely glad I got them. So before I get into that, I got to give a shout out to Comic Tom. He and I both started doing our videos around the same time. I was late 2017. I think he was early 2018. He's far surpassed me in viewers and everything else because he's really good. He's funny and he's an entertainer, and he loves his comics. I know there's some people out there like to shit on him, but hey, that's what trolls do. That's all they do is shit on people. They shit on me too. So, anyways, I got to give him a shout out because he was interviewed on Sticky Goose's channel. I guess Sticky Goose is trying to make a name for himself by going after other people, but whatever. And halfway, well, about 3/4 of the way through the interview, Sticky lost power, so Tom just basically turned it into a Comic Tom video and just kept talking or whatever. Finally the power came back on, and the funniest part for me was Sticky's wife was beaking at Tom and from the background, and all these passive aggressive comments as she's walking away up the stairs, and oh man, I laughed so hard. I had to message him after and say that was hilarious. I had to do a video just to give him a shout out. So good on you, Tom. That was funny, man. Anyways, I'm going to get going into what I'm looking at this week. I'm going to start with DC. Absolute Batman #1, kind of a no-brainer. Scott Snyder's the writer on this, who's a good writer as far as I'm concerned. He does some really good stuff. And to me, this is kind of DC's version of Marvel's Ultimate Universe, so I'm really looking forward to this. It's going to be all new stories, different take on Batman, everything else. So, oh man, I can't say don't get it, but I'm going to say it's one I would highly recommend you get. There's a ton of covers for it. There's cover A is the only one I'm getting. I mean, there's a Jim Lee cover, Mitch Gerard's cover, there's foil covers, there's incentive covers. I mean, whatever, you do what you want. But yeah, that's definitely one I'm looking forward to for sure. There's some of the other Absolute comics, I'll talk about them later, but definitely recommend that one. Batman 237 Facsimile is out this week. It's iconic. Neil Adams cover. A regular, a foil, and then a blank. I mean, the blank to me makes no sense, but whatever. Especially for a facsimile, but I'm just getting the regular. I love that cover, man. I don't have that in first print either. I gotta try and hunt that one down. It's such a gorgeous cover, especially with Halloween coming too. Got Batman and Robin #14, first cameo, first appearance of Memento, just a cameo, a bunch of covers for that. I have no idea if that character is going to be anything down the road, but you know me and first appearances, I love that one, and I'm going to get that one. So, Batman Full Moon #1 was supposed to be out this week. I've got it pre-ordered, but it looks like it's been delayed to the 16th, so yeah, I don't know. I'm not 100% on that one either way. It doesn't matter. I got it pre-ordered. So, but that black cover, holy shit! I love that cover. It's just gorgeous. As you know, black covers are hard to, they do get some issues with them. But that one was really, and the artwork on that was really good. I thought it was Greg Capullo at first when I first saw it, but it's not. I didn't write down who the artist was, but man, it's nice. So that's it from DC. Marvel, only a couple from them. Phoenix 4, cover A is a Yasmin Putri cover, and it's got Gore the God Butcher on the cover, and I love that character. I've got the book here, Jason Aaron, creator of that character, and I'll talk about that in a little bit, but I like that Phoenix #4. That's nice. Sentinels #1, man, I'm really on the fence with this one. That comes out this week. I was initially going to get it, but I'm kind of thinking I'm going to pass on it. But we'll see what happens. Indies only got Distillery Life #1 second print. That's the only one I'm really looking at this week. That one looks pretty decent. So I've only got a couple picks this week. I got Absolute Batman #1 again, no brainer. Definitely pick that up. Looks really good, and it's a high print. It's already sold out at the distributor level, from what I understand. It's like 250,000 print run. It's going to be a big print run. And then they've already announced a second print for that, which again will be a high print run. But where you got to pay attention is for the third and fourth prints, which are definitely coming. And those will be a little ways down the road, and by then a lot of people tend to forget about, you know, the book and start looking at other stuff. And you're going to get probably a short order window for that. And there is a possibility you could end up with a, you know, something like this in one of the later prints if you get a nice, really iconic cover. Possibility, I'm not saying you will, but just pay attention to that, because like you say, the third and fourth will probably be short order windows. So anyways, so yeah, my picks this week, I think I said it already: Absolute Batman #1 and that Distillery Life #1 second print. Those are the two I'm looking at. There's not a ton, but boy, those ones look good. Down the road, this is in December. From Marvel, you got Helverine #1. That comes out December 18th. First ongoing series for Helverine. Really nice cover on that too, so looking at that one. What If Galactus Transformed the Hulk? I really like the Platt cover. I use an image of that on the screen. That comes out January 1st. I think that's just a regular price variant too, so shouldn't be too bad. There's TVA #1. That comes out December 18th. That's what I'm looking at. Ultimate Universe 1 year #1. That comes out. It says there's two major Marvel characters. It's their their Ultimate Universe version. Who they are, is it worth buying it for that? I don't know, but I'll probably get one copy, just cover A. And then I was looking at this image of Uncanny X-Men #8, and I'm not sure who that shadowy character is in the middle of the screen. You can see it there. I don't know if that's a new character or if it's, I don't know if that's Professor X. I'm kind of thinking it is some version of him, but we'll have to wait and see. But I like the cover. I'm going to get that one. From DC, there's New Gods #1. So obviously there's a dead old god, a mysterious child on Earth awakens. So Ram V's writing that, and he's actually pretty good. So I'm going to pick that up. New Gods #1. That comes out December 18th as well. Obviously Absolute Batman #3 comes out. Black Mask has some new friends, it says, for Absolute Batman #3. So are they friends we already know about, or are they actual new characters being introduced? But wouldn't surprise me if we're getting some new ones. So Absolute Superman #2 comes out December 4th. And I got to talk about Absolute Superman #1, which comes out next month in November. And actually, I'll talk about that in just a second here. I'll get through this. Got Batman Full Moon #3, December 11th. Man, I'm looking forward to that series. It looks really good. I got a couple indies. Boom Studios In Bloom #1. It's kind of a sci-fi saga. That comes out December 11th. That one, to me, looks really interesting. And it's going to be a lower print run, so that's what I'm going to get. And then Distillery, another one from them. You Won't Feel a Thing. It's by Scott Snyder and Jock. Scott Snyder's been busy. It's a murder mystery serial killer thing. The only problem with these Distillery books, they're pretty pricey. Like, this is an $8.99 cover price, so yeah, I don't know. We'll have to. Anyways, and then from Image Comics, you got Freddy the Fix #1. That's a one-shot. Garth Ennis is the writer on that. He's the one behind Boys and Preacher. That one, that one's looks pretty good. So out of all those books, if you want, I'm kind of doing like a month solicitation, 3 picks. So New Gods #1, December 18th. That's one of my picks for the ones down the road. In Bloom #1, that looks pretty good as well. And Freddy the Fix #1. I think that one has some real potential, so that's one I'm definitely pre-ordering. Especially with Garth Ennis writing. He's a really good writer. So yeah, I want to talk about Superman and Jason Aaron just for a second. I'm going to touch on a lot of other stuff, but the one thing with Jason Aaron is he was technically the creator of, I know Donny Cates and Ryan Stegman get the credit for being co-creators of Knull, but technically it was Jason Aaron, because Jason Aaron is the one who created the Necrosword. There's an image of as you know, Knull shows up in, well, the Necrosword is #2. I just showed gore because I like gore. And then Knull shows up, the image of Knull, in #6. So those are definitely books you want to have. But Jason, and my point is, Jason Aaron was kind of, in my mind, the creator of all this. Donny Cates sort of expanded the story and got a lot of credit for it, but I think Jason Aaron is really the one behind it all. And his whole Gore, the God Butcher storyline was amazing. The movie sucked with, what the hell was his name? I can't even remember his name. It'll come to me when I've done the video. Christian Bale. Yeah, man, oh, that was terrible. But anyways, my point is with Superman, he's doing the Absolute Superman, which comes out next month. And I really like where this is going. It's a lot darker. It's a different story, a different take on Superman's life. And I can't remember the last time I actually recommended a Superman book. But with Jason Aaron writing, I think it's going to be good. And Jason Aaron is famous for putting a single page or 2 pages kind of at the end of his books, which leads into a totally different story. And you want to pay attention because he may have those type of things go on in an Absolute Superman. And I mean, I'll talk about it once I read it. If I see anything in there, I'll let you know. But I'm really looking for that Absolute Superman. I highly recommend you pick that one up when it comes out next month too. If you do, it's up to you. If you don't, hey, that's up to you as well. Okay, so I got to talk about Knull. Like I say, I know I'm going to show, I've got stacks of books here. So I know a lot of these books you're all aware of, but this is kind of just a refresher, and I really wanted to talk about Knull. So I do like the character. So obviously, like I said, Necrosword shows up in 6, or 2, I should say. You get that kind of that cameo of Knull in his armor laying on the ground fighting the gods and stuff. So that's technically a cameo of him. Your first full appearance is number 3. And when this came out, I said at the time, man, if you are not buying Venom, you shouldn't even be collecting comics, because it was an absolute fantastic. That first story arc, the first 6 issues was amazing. And, oh man, I really wish Donny Cates would come back. Comics need him so bad, because they've been sucking the last while. But anyways. So for 3, you've got a whole bunch of covers for this. I mean, you don't obviously have to get all these. I'm just showing you some of them. There's the one for 25, the Molina cover. You've got your second print. Is that second print? Yeah, second print. Obviously, you're well aware of the third print. And I remember talking about that, telling people to buy that when it came out. And people are like, why should we buy this? Anyways, I'm not going to go into it. There's the Tyler Kirkham variants. So those are all books. Obviously, Thor number 2, Thor number 6, Venom 3, great books. Those are kind of, everybody knows about those, third print, everything else. The number 4 is his origin story. Again, the price on that is pretty low. If you don't have it, I'd recommend you get it. There's a third printing for number 4, which has Knull fighting the gods and stuff in there. And then there is number 5. This is the exclusive variant. And I know there's been some controversy about whether this is first appearance or cover appearance of Knull or not. And I can state for an absolute fact that it is, because I did a video on this promoting back in September, well, way back in 2018 when this came out. But I had these in my hand before Venom 3 came out, and that was like a week prior. So whether people want to say that's the first cover appearance or not, or that this is the official one, and that's, I don't really care. I've got both, but either way, if you can get those, get them. I know I gave one of these away way back then too. So anyways, those are all good books to have. You cannot go wrong with those. But some of the stuff I'm thinking down the road, like I know a lot of people are thinking, well, this is just going to be a one-off and done, and if the movie sucks, it doesn't really matter, in my opinion, because from what I'm hearing from people I talk to, Knull's going to be transitioning to the MCU, and this is going to be kind of the baddie for a while. We'll have to wait and see if that comes to fruition or not. I don't know. But if that's the case, I think you're really going to want to have Venom 7, the first appearance or cameo of Dylan, regular cover, the tongue variant, second print, and if you happen to pick this one up way back when I did, boy, that's a good one. That's a really good one. So that's the cameo Dylan. I know this is all, I'm just kind of a refresher, but these are books I recommend you get if you don't have them. If you got the money, don't go blowing your cash on stuff. There's a regular cover. You got the 1 for 10. You got the second print. Another one that's a lower print, if you can find it, it's number 12, the second print. It's got Anne Wang with Dylan on the cover as a baby. So that's a really good one. For Dylan anyways, that's what I'm thinking. Another big one is Thanos number 15. That is your first appearance of Silver Surfer Black, and with Marvel bringing in Galactus and Silver Surfer, and if you have Knull as the baddie, it leads totally into the whole Silver Surfer Black Galactus storyline. I'm going to cover that off in a second, but you got to get, well, I recommend you get, there's Thanos 15, you got regular cover A, second print, you got third print, and of course the big one that everybody is after is the fourth print. And back then I bought a whole bunch of covers just because I loved that cover, and I bought 5 covers of every Thanos book that came out. I gave one of these away. But yeah, that one, number 15, at the end I'm gonna say which ones I think are your, but this one is a big one. That cover is just, that's a good one. That leads obviously into Silver Surfer Black, which to me, I did a video back on this when it came out, that this is a series you need to get. I really think it is, because there's so many things that happen in this. You've got, in issue number 1, you have all those 3 corrupted gods at the gates to Knull's kingdom. That's the first appearance of the gates and those 3 corrupted gods, which I mentioned at the time. Such a good story, and the artwork was a little trippy, but boy, I've gone back and read it, so it's really good. Got the one for 25 and the one for 50. Those are actually not all that bad in price. The one I think you're going to want to get is the second print. That is a gorgeous cover, and again, that's one of those ones that I think is going to be down the road, is going to be one you want to have. You got all the multiple printings of it as well. And then you get into number 2, and then you've got the somebody sent me the Marvel panel. It was kind of a, well, there's only a few hundred of these, I think, but it's like a virgin with Carnage Ride and Silver Surfer's surfboard. Man, I love that cover. If you happen to have that, hang on to it. That's all I'm going to say. Multiple printings of that. You get number 3, and then number 4 to me is a big one. Which leads into the Black Winter, and I know I've talked about this before, and a lot of other people have too, but to me that is your first appearance of the Black Winter right there. Mentions his name right there, and that's him. So issue 4 is your first cameo of the Black Winter as far as I'm concerned. And then issue 4 also has this really nice Peach Momoko cover. Again, that's another really good one. There's so many good books in this back then. Man, 2018, funny, Mighty Mel put out a comment. He says, man, 28 was a banger year, and yeah, it was. It was just such a good year. So anyways, there's 5 issues in that run. You can pick up the whole series, cover A's, pretty reasonable, like 30 bucks kind of thing, 40 bucks. That's one I would recommend you get. Whether or not you do, it's up to you, but as a collector, that's something you're going to want to have. And then I got to end with, well, actually there's a couple more. So talking about the Black Winter, I know Black Winter technically isn't related to, you know, Knull and the everything, but it's sort of all tied together. So number 4 is your first technically in the Thor run, although I think in Silver Surfer Black number 4 you get your first cameo, but this is what's counted as his first cameo, and that's the second print cover. I think that's second print cover, yep, which is a really nice cover. So that's number 4, and then I know you guys all know this, but number 5 is your first full appearance, another good third, that pretty cheap price too, so those are ones you want to get. But the one, I've talked about this one before, and this is one, again, Thor number 700. This is where you get your first appearance of the Black Galactus and Ego the Living Planet, which then leads into Thor number 6. But this one is another one that you want, because like I say, with Galactus and Silver Surfer coming to the MCU at some point, I think they're going to go down this road. It's going to take a few years, but that is one you want to get. How many have I got of those? I got 4 of those in my collection. And this is the one that I really, another one that's sleeper. This is kind of end of the. It's got Loki the All Butcher in it, but it's because of Ego the Living Planet consuming the Necrosword, and then if you remember, Loki was a worm in this, and he ended up getting the sword, convincing Ego to give him the sword, and then at the end of the book you get Loki the All Butcher at the end of time. So I don't know that one's going to really pan out or anything, but that's such a wicked image. But out of all those books, I think the ones, to me, 700 is a big one, obviously. You got your first Black Galactus. You've got Thanos 15, first Black Silver Surfer Black. Obviously, Venom 3, whether you get the third print, first print, second print, up to you. I like this Venom 5 cover, the exclusive as well. But those are the three, to me, the big ones right there. Black Galactus, Silver Surfer Black, and Venom 3. I don't know if that made any sense, but it was good to ramble on about comics. I don't even know how long this video went, so if you're still sticking around, there you go. Anyways, folks, oh, real quick, I gotta end. I had to put my Freddy Krueger in the middle because Halloween's coming up, and also I saw that the Comic Perspective was put a post out about Popeye 65, the Danovich cover. That's a pretty rare cover, so it's one of my favorites. It's a great cover. That's pretty pricey, so don't run out and buy that one. But anyways, there you go. Happy hunting, everyone. Talk to you hopefully next week, but I'll try to do one, if not next week, the following week, but I'm going to try and do one every week. So take care. Bye for now.